Hello, kindergartners. Today I'm going to read to you Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day by Judith Viorst. Ooh, this book's black and white. There's not any color in this book. Interesting. Okay, let's see if we can make sure we can see this. I went to sleep with gum in my mouth, and now there's gum in my hair. And when I got out of bed this morning, I tripped on a skateboard, and by mistake, I dropped my sweater in the sink while the water was running, and I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. At breakfast, Anthony found a Corvette Stingray car kit in the breakfast cereal box, and Nick found a junior undercover agent code ring in his breakfast cereal box. But in my breakfast cereal box, all I found was breakfast cereal. I think I'll move to Australia. In the carpool, Mrs. Gibson let Becky have a seat by the window. Audrey and Elliot got seats by the window too. I said I was being scrunched. I said I was being smushed. I said if I don't get a seat by the window, I'm going to be car sick. No one even answered. I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. At school, Mrs. Dickens liked Paul's picture of the sailboat better than my picture of the invisible castle. At singing time, she said I sang too loud. At counting time, she said I left out 16. Who needs 16? I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. An invisible castle, huh? Does that mean you can't see it? Huh. Interesting. I could tell because Paul said I wasn't his best friend anymore. He said that Philip Parker was his best friend and that Albert Moyo was his next best friend and that I was only his third best friend. I hope you sit on a tack, I said to Paul. I hope the next time you get a double-decker strawberry ice cream cone, the ice cream part falls off the cone and lands in Australia. There were 2 cupcakes in Philip Parker's lunch bag, and Albert got a Hershey bar with almonds, and Paul's mother gave him a piece of jelly roll that had a little coconut sprinkles on top. Guess whose mother forgot to put in a dessert? It was a terrible, no good, very bad day. That was it. Because after school, my mom took us all to the dentist, and Dr. Fields found a cavity just in me. Come back next week and I'll fix it, said Dr. Fields. Next week, I said, I'm going to Australia. On the way downstairs, the elevator door closed on my foot, and while we were waiting for my mom to get to the car, Anthony made me fall where it was muddy, and then I started crying because of the mud. Nick said I was a crybaby. And while I was punching Nick for saying crybaby, my mom came back with the car and scolded me for being muddy and fighting. I'm having a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day, I told everybody. No one even answered. So, We went to the shoe store to buy some sneakers. Anthony chose white ones with blue stripes. Nick chose red ones with white stripes. I chose blue ones with red stripes. But the shoe man said, we're all sold out. They made me buy plain old white shoes, but they can't make me wear them. Wow, it really does sound like he's having a bad day. Ooh. When we picked up my dad at his office, he said I couldn't play with the copying machine, but I forgot. He also said to watch out for the books on his desk. And I was as careful as I could, except for my elbow. He also said don't fool around with his phone, but I think I called Australia. My dad said please don't pick him up anymore. It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. There were lima beans for dinner. I hate lima beans. There was kissing on TV. I hate kissing. Blech. My bath was too hot. I got soap in my eyes. My marble went down the drain, and I had to wear my railroad train pajamas. I hate my railroad train pajamas. Oh my goodness. Poor Alexander. When I went to bed, Nick took my pillow and said I could keep the Mickey Mouse nightlight. He said I could keep, and the Mickey Mouse nightlight burnt out and I bit my tongue. The cat wants to sleep with Anthony, not me. It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. My mom says some days are like that. Even in Australia. The end. Kindergartners, I think everybody's had a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day before. I know that I have. And sometimes, especially during this really crazy time when we all have to be at home and we can't see our friends, every day kind of seems like a horrible, terrible, no good, very bad day. And we just want to sit and be angry all the time. And sometimes I have to tell myself, we can't be angry all the time. We have to find the good things, right? So when you're feeling down and you're feeling like it's a very terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day, think about the things that are good in your life, like that you have a roof over your head and that your moms and dads and relatives and grandmas and grandpas, that they're happy and healthy and safe and that they get to take care of you and that you have hot food to eat for dinner and that you have bed to sleep in at night. There's always positives to think of when there's lots of negatives going on in the world. Have a great day, kindergartners.